Here's a pro tip for you guys. I fall for this one all the time, and I'm goddamn it trying to make it on YouTube. And so this is counterproductive to my YouTube channel. But the point is, if you're spending more time, and let's use that 1 minute as an example. If you're spending more than a minute watching YouTube videos and you're coding 0, that's a problem. If you're spending 4 hours watching YouTube and you're maybe coding 0 or like 10 minutes, that's a problem, right? You need to manage your time wisely. If you're going to watch 4 hours of YouTube, you should definitely be coding more than 4 hours. So the point is, if you have 4 hours to watch YouTube, take that down a notch and code more. So 3 tips in today's fantastic video. Hey guys, welcome to Coding After 30. You're probably wondering, well, hey, Coding After 30, where have you been? Where are our new videos that you promised to do daily all the time? Well, you know what? I got lazy and I didn't do the work. You know, there's no excuses. That's sometimes what happens. And so I just want to make this video about this whole idea that we are human beings and we will be lazy. We will fall off the bandwagon and feel like we don't want to do anything. And that happens all the time. And so I want to give you tips of what you can do, like I'm doing right now, making a video for you guys, to kind of fight that urge to stop being consistent with your practice. First thing I want to tell you, everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect. And one of the things that happens as human beings when we let ourselves down is we get mad at ourselves and we beat ourselves up. So the hardest thing for me was in my life to learn. It took like 37 years. So I'm 39 now, is to, and I'm not an expert at this, is to actually stop punishing myself. And what I mean with that, it doesn't matter what the activity is, but I'm gonna use eating as an example because I love to eat. I used to all the time be like, you know what, Paul, you want to go on a diet? These are the foods you're allowed to eat and these are the foods you're not. Like, you can't have ice cream every day. It is terrible for you. So I would eat ice cream and then the next day I'll be like, man, you messed up. You ate that ice cream. And so now you're not on a diet anymore. How could you do this to yourself? See, you don't have the willpower to continue. You know what? It's okay. Why don't you eat more ice cream right now? Maybe some burgers, maybe get some chicken wings, maybe get some pizza. And then tomorrow you could get back on track. And then tomorrow will come and be like, man, you feel like I feel so terrible. I let myself go, did all these terrible things. And then they'll just draw out for the next 6 months. And all of a sudden I'm like, why am I 20 pounds heavier? Here's the thing. Whenever you mess up, just understand that you're a human being. And that will happen. And instead of yelling at yourself or punishing yourself, just say, you know what? I let myself down. I'm sorry, and forgive yourself. Just basically it. Just acknowledge the fact of I was lazy. I didn't do any work. And then right then forgive yourself just so you could move on. And it seems silly and stupid. But the point is, have you ever tried arguing with someone and you're like, you son of a gun, it fell out. And then all of a sudden they say like, you know what? You're right. I agree with you 100%. I totally messed up. Like, it's hard to be mad at someone or somebody else when they acknowledge the fault, because now you're able to move on and continue from there. And it's the same thing when you're on your own. So whenever you fail at coding or programming daily or whatever it is, don't punish yourself by being like, oh, you can't do it, this is not for you. Just acknowledge the fact, forgive yourself, and move on. I know that seems silly, but I want you guys to try it. The second thing I talked about, and this is something that I try to apply for the YouTube channel, not just my coding. My coding, it's funny, my coding discipline is definitely much more ingrained than my YouTube discipline is. I code every day, and this is outside of work. And the way I develop this, and this is something that I'm striving to develop with my YouTube, is that I literally made a goal that's so achievable that it is impossible for me to fail. And the way I started coding daily was super simple. And before I tell you what I did, I read this book called Mini Habits. If you ever find it, check it out. You don't have to buy it because it's super simple. It's basically making goals that are so easy that there's no way in hell you're not going to accomplish it. And so what I did is, for my programming goal, I literally said, you need to sit down, open VS Code, and type code for 1 minute. 1 minute. That's it. That was the goal. So for that day, even if I didn't want to type anything, I didn't want to code, or was so lazy, the accomplishment, criteria was easy. Just code for 1 minute. So I would just sit down all grumpy, open up my computer for 1 minute, type, hello world, something, blah, 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 JavaScript, whatever it was. and then I would close it. And I did that every day. And for the first week, it was stupid, silly, but I did open the computer. I did code for 1 minute. And then eventually I started doing 2 minutes, then 3 minutes. And all of a sudden I was doing about 20 minutes on average, which is like 20 times better than before, because like 100 times better than before, because before I wasn't doing anything. And so over a period of a month, I got comfortable, my brain got comfortable with this idea that every day you're going to sit down, open your computer, and you're going to code for 1 minute. After 2 weeks of trying this, I've never coded for a minute. I always code at least half an hour, sometimes an hour, and sometimes all the way to 2-3 hours. So the point is, instead of setting these lavish goals like for 100 days, I'm going to code every day for an hour, just code for a darn minute every day. And that's very easy to do, because I would literally say to yourself, look, just accomplish the goal today, open the computer for a minute, and then you can do whatever you want afterwards. And eventually what happens, your brain just gets accustomed to this idea that you have a time at some point in the day where you're going to open your computer, you're going to look at the screen, you're going to type something for 1 minute. And the hardest part for people is that initial part of getting started. So that's the part you make easy. You make that getting started part super easy. And then the keep going part becomes not even a problem, because your brain is like, I'm already here, might as well do it. So I want to challenge you guys, if you're finding that you are not having time to code for 1 minute, just code for 1 minute and see what happens. Don't say to yourself, well, I watched this video and Coding After 30 says that you have to code for 2 hours a night. You should code like for as much as you can, but that's not realistic. But you should be like, you know what, I'm just going to wait 1 minute, code for 1 minute, and then see what happens. And over a month, over 2 months, you're going to develop this habit where sitting down to code is very easy. So now this is something I have to do with YouTube. I have to say, for every day, I'm going to sit down for a minute and work on the video for you guys. By the way, this video I'm making right now, it is awesome. It has a lot of valuable information for you. The easiest freaking video to make, because all I have to do is just sit here and talk to you. But I don't want my channel to be all these vlog style videos. I mean, I do want to give you this value, but I also want to practice making some better, more value videos that you get even more value. So I want to have a nice mix. So that's why I haven't been making videos as easily, because I'm trying to make better videos. And so they're harder to do. I just finished one yesterday. Literally took a week to do, and it's not it just because I'm trying to like use images and graphics and talk over stuff. So the point is instead of me making excuses, I just have to every day sit down for a minute, and that's my basic habit. So this way I don't get discouraged by the hard work I have to do and then don't do anything for 2 weeks. Hey, try to do something for 1 minute, and then if you could do more, do more. If not, you did your 1 minute, tomorrow is another day. So remember, guys, the best way to get better at coding is through consistency over time. There's no secret, no shortcut. The more consistent you are on a day-to-day basis versus, okay, on the weekend I'm going to spend 4 hours of coding, that's just unrealistic. So what you have to do, instead of striving to say to yourself, I'm going to code 1 week 10 hours, next week 100 hours, whatever it is, just every day come up on a consistent schedule and just do 1 minute. It's super easy. And if you code more, you code more. And the reason I say this to you is because the only way you're going to get better at coding is actually physically coding. My videos, when I'm talking to you guys, yeah, hopefully it's entertaining, it's funny. Look at this monkey talk. But the point is, you're not getting better at coding. You're getting some ideas of how you could get better at coding. But they're just ideas because you didn't really sit down and code anything. So with this being said, I want to constantly tell you guys that you should be coding most of the time. Here's a pro tip for you guys. I fall for this one all the time, and I'm goddamn it trying to make it on YouTube. And so this is counterproductive to my YouTube channel. But the point is, if you're spending more time, and let's use that 1 minute as an example. If you're spending more than a minute watching YouTube videos and you're coding 0, that's a problem. If you're spending 4 hours watching YouTube and you're maybe coding 0 or like 10 minutes, that's a problem, right? You need to manage your time wisely. If you're going to watch 4 hours of YouTube, you should definitely be coding more than 4 hours. So the point is, if you have 4 hours to watch YouTube, take that down a notch and code more. So 3 tips in today's fantastic video that was super easy for me to make because I'm lazy and I'm trying to fight this laziness by doing something while I'm working on better videos for you guys. Number 1, everybody messes up. Everybody's perfect. Do not beat yourself up. forgive yourself, be nice to yourself, and just understand, hey, I'm human. That's the human part of me. So the beauty of this is I forgive myself and let me get back on track. The second takeaway for this most amazing video you guys are going to watch today is that set mini habits that have the easiest criteria to meet the success. Like, I'm going to sit down, open up my computer in VS Code, type for 1 minute. Anybody could do this, but your brain doesn't know that you're only doing it for a minute. It's tricked. It's like, oh my God, I'm coding, I'm doing something. And that becomes a daily habit, and you guys are going to get more successful with that. And thirdly, damn, I'm talking so much that I forgot what the third point was. I'm going to have to rewind the video, watch it, remember the third point, and then get back to you. Okay, rewind. Yes, the third point. Exactly what I said. You have to make sure that you're coding more time than you're watching YouTube videos, right? You have to set your priorities and understand the only way you're going to get better by becoming a better coder is by coding, by doing the actual work. So my challenge for you, if you watch 4 hours of YouTube, cut it down and do more coding than YouTube, like a lot more. And that's how you get better. See, boom, you guys are going to be web developers, programmers, like in 1 week. Not true, but I'm just going to lie to you, tell you it's in a week. But the reality does take hard work. But you guys already know this because you're watching this channel where I tell you the truth. It's hard, almost impossible. Why you should do it? Because it's still worth it. With everything going on in the world today, with all these things happening, people not knowing if they're going to be able to go to work, anything that allows you to work remotely from the comfort of the safety of your home is a plus. And that's what coding and programming will eventually allow you to do. So anyway, I talked too much today. Just being honest with you guys, I didn't make any videos because I was lazy, but I'm also working on better content. I'm going to probably release this video first and then my next video. So I have a couple of videos planned this week to release. But thanks for watching. I love you guys. Subscribe if you like. If you have some bad things to say to me, say it wherever. Just please tell me why you hate it, so I could get better in my next video. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.